Hey, what's up, family? Welcome back to God's Development Plan. It's your girl, Lolita. And shout outs to my daughter, David Art Family on Instagram, too. You guys, I had to hop on here real quick. I apologize for the strange angle. I am home at this point, and I done been bleaching, sweeping, and eating collard greens, okay? It's a little rough right now, y'all. I'm not at the studio. But you guys, I had to hop on here because I was like, God is a miracle worker. Let me tell you something. If you're discouraged about where you are, think about where you used to be. Listen, I went and checked my Facebook. And you guys, Facebook popped up this memory post. You know how if you have a Facebook account, you know that every so often Facebook will flash a memory to you, like on this same day 10 years ago, whatever you posted on that day at that time in the past. Okay, let me read you guys, this post that I posted on this same day, which is February 22nd in 2010. So we're talking 13 years ago. We're talking over a decade. Okay, that's a lot of time for change. It's a little time, right? If you feel like it's all you got left, but it's a lot of time for change, for God to do a work. Y'all listen to this post. Listen to this post that I wrote. It's so ignorant. I literally put, Lord, please help me resist the temptation that is this Scorpio who refuses not to be a part of all, and I got like 6 L's added to the word all, who refuses not to be a part of all my free time. I'm trying, but I'm about to flunk out. Whoo, amen. Send a sister some strong will / resistance on a cloud, please. The flesh is weak. Cast out these demons. Amen. K, feeling better. Got it under control. Angel face. So in this post, y'all, I wish you could see. In this post from February 22nd, 2010, it's before I ever had my first encounter with the Lord. I believed in God, but I hadn't had an encounter with him yet. My God. And I'm basically saying a prayer. I'm joking about it, but yet I'm serious. Saying a prayer to God in my Facebook post to help me resist this particular man who I guess was a Scorpio. Side note, I also am no longer into astrology either, because God gave me the rebuke of a lifetime about being into astrology some years ago, and I'm not into it anymore. Okay. And I got my reasons, witchcraft, but it can be explained, but that might be for another video. But God was like, no, ma'am. But again, growth. This is from the year 2010, right? I'm saying to the Lord in a post, like, help me resist this man. This man is trying to be a part of all my free time. This man is just like, send me some help, like, so I can resist, like the brother fine. Okay. And and I remember at this point, I was a senior. I think I was a senior in college at that point. Follow me now. This is a testimony. This is a strong testimony, especially you who want a spouse. Pay attention. Don't skip the video. If you want a spouse, you better listen to this, because it's going to bless you. Goodness gracious. It was a time to resist the temptation of this particular person. It was so tempting to just lay up with this person. Can I just be real? Can I say that without somebody falling out? It was tempting to just lay up with this person. I'm telling you, my word. You ever had somebody like that? Come on, somebody. I ain't the only one. Don't act like you're perfect now. I know I raised my hand and confessed that I'm not. If I was, he wouldn't have had nothing to say. That's why he came and got me. He came for the sinners, because I wasn't right. Listen to that. I'm like, God, Lord, help me resist. But I was trying to resist. I resisted. I ain't gonna lie, like I came through every time, because it took me a while. It really did, to be like, okay, I don't want this. But you know, what really encouraged me was the Lord. Like, I got this foreboding feeling with this particular man that I was dating at the time. And I'm sorry, y'all, if this is an all over the place testimony, but it's very relevant. And I want to share it because it happened the spur of the moment. I wasn't thinking to film anything today, and I came home from working, and I'm just like, I needed to share this. But I remember this particular man that I was dating, who I was referencing in this. There was such a strong chemistry, such a strong physical attraction and stuff, you know. And mind you, like I said, this 13 years ago, I was all right. I was all right back then. I was all right. I'm trying to tell you. But anyway, I remember after like one of the last times that I had spent time with him, that we went out together and stuff, it's like, when I tell you, I heard the Lord say, and it's funny because I didn't even remember this until I saw this post from February 22nd, 2010. I'll never forget, I was driving home from his house, and he had a place, he had 2 cars, like he had money, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't a vagabond, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you be ready to risk it all by somebody who ain't even got a job, baby. Come on now. I done seen it done. But I'm saying that to say this dude was not a piece of trash dude. This dude, you know, he was nice. He had manners. He was extremely good looking. He was good looking to the point that other people heard of his good lookingness. Okay. Can I just make that word up? Like, you know how Solomon's good looking, how he was so handsome. It gets talked about how handsome. This brother was like that. Like, I remember friends coming to me saying, oh, that guy you're dating, yeah, so and so, I heard he's so nice looking. That's how good looking the brother was. He ain't even live in my part of the county, and you knew how good looking he was. Okay. And y'all, I was so infatuated. I won't say in love, because it was infatuation. It was physicality. That's what it was. It was physicality. And I heard the Lord say, y'all, if you don't leave, he ain't even yell it. That's what scared me. It was so quiet and firm, but yet soft. It was like the word says, a still small voice, but it was so firm. And the way that I heard it, I knew it was God. And mind you, I say this is before I ever had a encounter with Jesus, but I knew I heard God. I knew it. I heard in my ear, if you don't leave this man alone, you're going to lose everything. If you don't leave this man alone, you're going to lose everything. Do you know how scary that is? And let's get it understood now. Let's get it understood what wasn't understood. I was like, lose everything. I was like, where would a thought like that come from? Where would a thought like that occur? Understand? Because this was not a married man. You know, sometimes if you hear something like that, you can understand where it's coming from, because the kind of person you're dealing with. You know, you might be dealing with somebody who a drug dealer, or you know they married and you messing with them anyway. You could see why you would hear something like that, because there's other outliers that you looking dead at. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, I was like, why? What's going? Like, it was so confusing. Mind you, though, we talking 13 years ago. We talking about Lolita in her 20s versus Lolita now, who's closer to 40. Okay. So just for perspective. Okay. But I heard it so clear, and it was the fear of God rose up in me. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, why would God, like, where would that come from? I'm not doing, you know, I'm like, I ain't messing with nobody's husband. I don't know what's going on. Look at God. But it scared me so much. I listened to it. I was like, no, okay. I said, and I told my friend, I say, girl, I was driving from his house. I say, and I don't know. I just heard if you don't leave him alone, like if you don't stop talking to this man, you gonna lose everything. Mind you, I'm a senior in college. I'm driving an 83 Toyota Putt-Putt. I don't have a lot of money or anything like this. I still live with my mom. I'm like, this is what scared me. Lose everything. Lose what? The way that God said it to me, when he said, if you don't stop, you gonna lose everything. It made me question what I was gonna lose that I didn't have yet. My God, I knew the way that he said it to me, it was that he was not just referring to what I had that I was going to lose, because I didn't have nothing that I could think of. Come on, somebody. But if you got your right mind, that's something, and you mess with the wrong person, you might lose that too. Hey, do you want to lose your right mind? No. But I understood the way God said it. I was like, I understood. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know. I just listen. I'm on one. This might be for somebody. I knew it meant something that was not yet in my hand that was supposed to come into my hand if I didn't stop being a fool. Hello? Let me refer to myself first, because I was out there. Hello? I don't care if you got one boyfriend or whatever the case is, and that's who you with. If it ain't your husband, you out there. Some people hate to hear that. That's the truth. If you're out there, you're sexually out there. So this not my husband. I'm with this man. That mean I'm out there. That mean I'm uncovered, right? That mean I'm over here removing myself from the protection of the Lord, because I'm out here doing my will, right? Because that's what I was doing at the time. What I thought I ought to be doing. Wrong. But the way God said it to me, I was like, what am I going to lose? I questioned. I was like, what? And question in a good way. It's some things you ought to question. You ought to say, what does that mean? It's like a scripture that says, and he reasoned within himself. She reasoned within herself, meaning you start to reason and say, wait a minute. Let me think twice about this. Okay? So that's what God calls me to do. Like, think twice about it. Like, you so crazy about this man. Like, and for no good reason. And like I say, it was infatuation. It was all physicality, right? So, what are you about to risk for that? Hello? Come on, somebody. I know I ain't the only one. But I say all that to say this. God is so amazing, because when I look back at what I read, joking but seriously crying out, saying, God, help me resist this man, because I seem to find this particular man irresistible. So this is not good. I need to resist this brother. You know, it can't be like this. It can't be like this. It can't be. I'm like, I will waste all my time. Absolutely not. God was like, absolutely not. This is not who I've ordained for you, Lolita. Okay? And you guys, I was scared. I left the brother alone, okay? He wasn't hurting me. He wasn't doing nothing wrong to me. If I said, hey, come pick me up. Like I said, the brother lived almost in another county. The brother was coming to get me, okay? This was not a situation where I was being mistreated or abused or anything like that. If I asked for something, I got it, because that thing went both ways. You understand? But the point is, God said, leave it alone. Now we talking February 2010. I had to leave it alone, y'all. I left it alone. Now, fast forward a few months, still in the same year, 2010, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So you basically saying by 7 months away, maybe a little less, right? Really probably more like 6, because the 22nd of February, 2010, that's really the end of February. So you might as well say 6 months later, okay? And August, pivotal moment, what happened in August 6 months later. Ask me what happened, y'all. Come on, friend. Come on. Ask me what happened in August of 2010. After I done left this man alone, like the Lord told me to leave this man alone now, I met my husband. Woo! Fireworks, 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 fireworks. So me and my husband started dating in 2000 in August. I still remember we started dating August 25th, 2010. I graduated in the winter. So by December, my husband was at my college graduation. We were courting. He was my boyfriend at the time, but he was standing in the bleachers watching me walk across the stage and graduate college in 2010. But see, let me tell you, God said you gonna lose everything if you don't stop with this one. Y'all, I'm so passionate about it. I got a headache going from the front of my head all the way down to the back of my neck, y'all. I'm so passionate about this, and I'm gonna upload it without shame because it needs to be said. It's like, if I look back, when he said you're gonna lose, I didn't know God had my husband within 6 months. Some of us, I'm using the subject of relationship because that's where it was for me. If I had not let this lustful relationship go, I full-heartedly believe there's no way I would have been with my husband. There's no way. There would have been no way for me to meet him. There would have been no way for me to talk to him. And I'm going to tell you why. Because our sight, and I use this example in talking to a friend, we cannot see like God can see. Remember, God is omnipotent. God is omnipresent, right? And he knows what's going on at all times. And we as human beings, we think we know so much. Lord have mercy. We special. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I be on the short bus sometimes. We think we know so much. And it's like, we don't realize we can't even see all of the present. You understand what I'm saying? If my husband was in the bathroom right now, he working, but if he was in the bathroom right now, I wouldn't be able to tell you what he was doing in there. And it would be happening right now in the present. But because he's behind the door, it makes me blind to what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why we got to trust God. If God telling you or urging you to leave something, leave somewhere, or leave somebody alone, you should know it's for your benefit. You should know it's gonna bequeath you. You should know it's so he can bless you with something better. Because when God told me to leave this man alone, in the human brain, the only thing I could conceptualize was loneliness. Was okay, well, I really like this guy. I want to be by myself, or whatever the case, right? But God, in all his understanding, he already knew, girl, you ain't even finna be by yourself for a year. You like literally months down the line, I have your husband prepared for you. But when I bring him into your sight line, and when I bring you into his sight line, when it's time for your husband to approach you, if you're still entangled in some mess, the man is going to turn away. Why? Because he's a good man. Why? Because he's a man after my own heart, who I've prepared just for you. But he's going to sniff out foolishness from 10 miles away. And the moment he sees you entangled up and infatuated with this other man, he is not even going to speak to you. He is not even going to approach you. Some of us, can we let it go? Can we let somebody go? I want you to let that person go. Whoever God telling you to let go, because it could be a relationship where you're getting maltreated. It may be something where you're not getting maltreated. You just know this really ain't the person for you. You just know without a shadow of a doubt, or that this is not who is for you, or you could be questioning if they're for you. The Lord never gave you a confirmation that this is the person for you. And you wasting your time. And now when God bring this virtuous woman, right? Or when God bring this man that's after his own heart, they can't even get to you because you entangled in some mess. God had to get me out of that mess first because he knew he had me for somebody else, and he had somebody else for me. Perfectly fit. Like, no, that's not who's for you. Don't be substituting. Don't substitute trying to fill in gaps and spaces with people who I didn't even bring. Come on, somebody. I don't know. It was such a testimony when I read that, because it took me right back to where I had been at that time and just crying out. And I really remember that time in my life was a very lonely time in my life, extremely lonely time in my life. So I know that I was like, not of the mindset to let that relationship go, especially because it was fun. Yeah. Fun and wrong. Hello. If fun on earth, ain't no fun in hell with it. So you guys, yeah, but thank God that he spoke to me and I heard him and I listened. I didn't play with it either. Let me say that. I didn't play with it. Once I heard him say that, that brother ain't see me no more. He ain't see me no more. Some of us, we gonna think we hear it. We gonna play like we heard it. Maybe we didn't hear it. We gonna wonder about it. We gonna have 3 and 4 more dates. Lay up with them 6 and 7 more times. Right? Don't play with it. If God tell you to leave somebody alone, leave them alone. It's not only is he protecting you from hurt, right? And protecting you from damage that he will himself have to come back and fix later because he's such a good father. You know, we'll put ourselves out to be hurt and damaged, and then God's so good he'll come in and, you know, heal our wounds and things as we come to him and cry out to him. And it's just like, it doesn't even have to go down like that. Just listen. Just listen. If he telling you to trust him, wait, do that. Trust him and wait. Believe God for the best, because God only has the best for you. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, plans to give you hope of future and expected end," right? And if I compare my husband to that man that I was so infatuated with, it was just a woohoo good time, that he doesn't compare. This man does not compare to my husband. And I'll throw in, now this just a little tea, I'll throw in the fact that when I got engaged, that same brother, boy, he had a problem. He had a problem. I wasn't talking to him, hadn't talked to him in time for quite some time. But don't you know, people can sniff out when somebody who is a loyal person getting taken off the market. Boy, he cut up. He cut up. Did not want me to go get married. But I wanted what God had for me. I did not entertain that foolishness. The same way I never went back when God said no, the same way I didn't entertain that foolishness. Because don't you know, people will try to come back into your life when you done cut it loose. They'll try to insert themselves right back in your life. That's the devil. Absolutely not. All right. I love you guys. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what kind of share tonight was. I feel like it was so animated, but I really felt it. It was passionate in my heart to come and post it because it was such a random occurrence. And I was just like, wow, that's a testimony. Like, God is good. He preserved me from my own folly, from my own stupidity, from my own wickedness, because I was a thrill seeker at that time. You see what I'm saying? I was not, at that time, I wasn't how I am now. I was a thrill seeker, man. I was a pleasure seeker. I was horrible, and curious, and just curious about everything. And I would just like, oh, I wonder what, no, you will die. You ever heard curiosity killed the cat? No. And I just thank God because he really preserved me. And I thank him because inching toward 40 is such light years difference between a 20-something mindset. You know what I mean? And I just thank God for his grace, because had it not been for him, ain't no way I would have made it. Ain't no way. If he didn't tell me leave him alone, I wasn't gonna leave him alone. I probably still been playing with that right now. You know what I'm saying? So I thank God. I pray that this message helps somebody, and it was such a random share. I apologize if it's a little all over the place, but thank you guys for watching, and sorry about the strange angles and setup, you guys. But thanks. Don't forget to subscribe to God's Development Plan. It's your girl Lolita. Bye, guys.
God has a plan for both you and me, but there are levels to reach before eternity. We must prepare as we share our testimony. Our lives are God's development plan, yeah. Our lives are God's development plan.